Servus from Vienna, Austria. It took quite a long time for this edition of Access News. It spans the 6 months from October to April, so let's get right to it. We have the usual Microsoft section first, followed by a short interview about the biggest Access party of last year and the introduction of our new blog site. After that, it's about 2 new Access MVPs, one of them with an in-depth interview because he's the only Access guy ever to have made it to YouTube Stardom. Then there's a short interview about the upcoming Access DevCon, and finally Colin Riddington introduces 2 new tools. Let's start with Microsoft. In the last 6 months we have gotten one new feature for Access, and that was 15 years overdue. Since the introduction of the new file format ACCDB, there was no way to digitally sign the VBA project. Microsoft finally made up for that in January this year. The other news we received during this period is a new old entry in the Microsoft roadmap for Office 365 and concerns the new web browser control. The old existing control is based on Internet Explorer and is hopelessly outdated. The new control on the basis of Chromium has been announced and postponed several times since 2020. So it doesn't matter that in March it was postponed again to April. Funny thing is that since then there are 2 entries in the roadmap, the older one for March and the new one for April. We will see when the control really will be released. Currently it is still in the beta channel of Office. The Access team dutifully publishes a monthly list of fixes on its official blog. From October to April there were 37 of them. Besides, not all fixes are included in these lists for obscure reasons, so there are secretly some more taking place and you still discover them only by accident. The last topic in the Microsoft section are the inevitable update bugs. There have been a good handful in the last half year. A few were turned off very quickly via feature gates. We have already reported about this technique. And while I'm on the subject of reporting, all Microsoft news mentioned here, be it bugs or features, are covered in articles on our new blog site access4ever.org, but more on that later. The German language AEK last October was again the biggest Access conference of the year. Now of course that was some time ago and I wanted to leave out the interview recorded in Advent, as you will see, but the interview star protested. I caved in and so we have to watch it now. Ms. Victoria, you co-organized the 24th AEK. How was the event?
180 people, good reviews. You can't complain except about a few details.
I see. What details?
Well, Access doesn't have a program manager anymore. The new features presented weren't ready and so on.
I see that you even bought the usual uniform of Access developers, especially for AEK.
Yes, it was not so easy to find something like that in my site.
And what were the highlights of the event for you?
Well, I actually liked the AEK evening best. That is, the evening reception on Saturday, with food and drink and such.
I saw on the website that the organizers even performed the Access song live this time. However, there were complaints that it didn't sound very harmonious.
Well, one instrument was out of tune. I don't want to say anything, but I played a recorder.
Oh, I see. Bygones. What else was interesting?
We had a cake for the 3rd birthday of Access, which most people liked. I found the alcoholic aftertaste unpleasant, but I think the mood was even better afterwards.
And what was the mood of the organizers after the conference?
For the main organizer, the best moment is always when everyone has left. For me, it makes me rather sad. But at least I got a non-alcoholic cocktail called Swimming Pool at the closing session in the hotel bar. It was horrible, but fun.
Thank you for the insightful interview. One of the reasons I haven't had time for Access news in a while is that I've been busy with a new blog site. In December I started a new blog site called access4ever.org. I invited a few very experienced colleagues to join because I wanted to be more than just another personal Access blog. So we are now a team of 5 current and former Access MVPs. One focus is to improve the situation with Access bugs. On the one hand, in the direction of the community by better and faster information about all current update bugs, workarounds and fixes. On the other hand, towards Microsoft by quickly communicating bug reports and reproduction scenarios to the Access team so that bugs can be fixed faster. We also keep a long list of open, longer-term access bugs. And we have annual lists of the access bug fixes in which we consolidate Microsoft's monthly fix list in a searchable way. We inform about new access features, briefly described with detailed links. In addition, there are informative and supporting articles, for instance about the use of versions or how to react to death rumors with Microsoft sources. And we provide news about tools and events. The next planned focus is to support the integration of third-party features and tools into Access. Microsoft awards some people who do a lot of free support for its products and therefore save the company a lot of money with the title MVP, Most Valuable Professional. The number of Access MVPs has increased from 17 to 19 in recent months. Here are the newbies. In November 22, Juan was appointed MVP. He's the chair of the Spanish Access user group and diligently produces meetings and videos. He also organizes the traditional annual meeting of the Spanish Access developers, this year on May 20 in Madrid, with a full-day program of presentations and discussions, and as you know the Spaniards, certainly with convivial food. Due to the dominance of US IT companies like Microsoft, many in the English-speaking world do not notice that large parts of the Access community are not happening in English. Spanish as a traditional word language plays a role here, of course. The second new Access MVP is not a new one. Richard Rost was MVP 10 years ago and was reappointed this March. As luck would have it, Richard and I had already recorded an interview sometime before in January. As a matter of fact, he's the only real YouTube star in the Access area with well over 200,000 subscribers. And of course, I wanted to know how he accomplished that. Now, Richard was in the process of relocating, so we did a kind of podcast with pictures for a change. Here it is. Richard, you run the YouTube channel Computer Learning Zone, which is by far the most successful in the Access area. When and how did you start it?
I started by recording my classroom sessions on VHS tapes, and I was selling those. And I was shipping CDs. I was shipping hundreds of CDs a week sometimes. Not a lot of people in the early 2000s had high-speed internet. So then finally, in 2006, when YouTube became popular, I thought, hey, that'd be a great way for delivering training on YouTube. So the next year in 2007, I started my own channel and I started posting videos on there, and I put my Access Beginner 1 class on there, and some Excel and some Word stuff, and the rest, as they say, is history.
You have more than 200,000 subscribers. How did you achieve that? Special types of videos, regularity, free beer?
Well, the free beer definitely helped in the beginning. I haven't had to bribe anybody recently, but yeah, that helped get the channel off the ground when I started. No, seriously, I think the main reason why I have so many subscribers is because I was in the right place at the right time. I basically got in on the ground floor when YouTube itself was still taking off. I didn't post a ton of videos at first, but the ones that I got up there kind of established my channel and got me good search ranking placement on Google. And of course today, if you search for pretty much anything Microsoft Access related, fortunately and hopefully one of my videos shows up. If you look at the subscriber chart, though, these are subscribers over time, and you can see right around 2013, that's when I started posting my Access 2013 course, the whole beginner course, for free, and that got a ton of views. And so, of course, I started taking YouTube more seriously then. You can see I kind of just hummed along here at the beginning. But then once that happened, then I started posting more regular videos, at least once a week. And that kept me going for a few years. And then around 2019, this dip here, I had some issues, both personal and professional, and some health problems. And so that kept me from recording as many videos as I would have liked to. But then when the pandemic started, I had a lot more time on my hands, as a lot of people did, so I started recording a lot more videos. I started doing my tips and tricks videos, my tech help and my fast tips, and posting those daily. I try to get one up every business day, and as you can see, it shot up every day. Right here, I don't know, this might have been a free beer promotion or something. I got a ton of subscribers. Now that's just some kind of glitch in their data. But seriously, the daily posting has definitely helped. Plus, and most importantly, is that I am outrageously entertaining. But no, seriously though, when I first started doing my videos, I tried to be all proper and professional, and this is Richard Rost, and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, it was okay, but sometime around 2020, I just said the hell with it. I said, let's have fun. So I started being goofy and letting my personality show through in the videos. How much I am passionate for this stuff, and I think the feedback for that has been very positive.
You also show videos on other Office topics, such as Excel. How high is the Access share in your success and in these more than 200,000 people?
Over 90% of the videos that I post are Microsoft Access. I do have a handful of other video topics in there. The funny thing is, my top video of all time, the one with the most number of views, is actually a Microsoft Word video. And my Excel VLOOKUP video is number 5, which hasn't gotten a lot of views lately because of XLOOKUP. Damn you, XLOOKUP. But Access is what I post the most of because it's my passion. It's what I enjoy doing the most. And as far as memberships and people wanting additional training goes, most people come to me for Microsoft Access because that's my specialty.
You don't do programming jobs anymore. At what point could you make a living from the YouTube channel? And is that a mix of your course offerings there and the YouTube advertising revenue?
Now, as far as making a living from my YouTube channel, I make most of my income from the back-end sales. While I do get some advertising revenue from YouTube, and I've got memberships that people can sign up for, I do okay with those, but I'm not getting rich, to be honest. I make most of my money from the sales of my more advanced lessons, seminars, templates, and that kind of thing. I've always used YouTube as a place to attract new students, and my goal has always been to post lots and lots of good beginner material content to entice people to either sign up for a membership or to come to my website for more advanced training. And that's been working pretty good over the past 20 years or so.
Finally, the crucial question. The rest of us Access YouTubers might have a few hundred or some even a few thousand subscribers. Do you have some quick tips on how we can catch up with you?
How to catch up with me? Well, first you're going to need some plutonium and a DeLorean. Seriously, I've got this many subscribers simply because I got started 16 years ago. And 200,000 subscribers didn't happen overnight. It's been slowly building over the past 16 years. So if you just started a channel and you've got a few hundred or a few thousand subscribers, great, keep doing what you're doing. The key really is to post good quality content on a regular basis. It doesn't have to be daily like mine. Post once a week or twice a month or whatever. Stick to a schedule so your viewers know when to expect you. Try to focus on doing something unique. Don't just rehash the wheel and do what everyone else has done. Try to find some new or entertaining angle. And if you've got something cool, I want to know about it. I try to do my best to promote other Access articles and YouTube channels. I don't see the Access community as competition. I think there's plenty of business out there for all of us. So for all of you who are just getting started, feel free to send me your links and your articles and your videos. If I like them, I'll share them on my channel. But yeah, that's pretty much all the knowledge that I can share. And of course, if you guys have any questions, feel free to post them down below in the comments section and I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks for having me.
The next major Access conference will be held at the end of April. Finally, we at Access News managed to get 2 really independent, neutral and credible people for an interview who have nothing whatsoever to do with the organization of the event and partly don't even know what it's all about.
Mr. Blackbeard,
Brown.
What did we want to talk about again?
I think you wanted to ask me what I had to do with Access.
Right, that is it. So what do you have to do with that Access?
Well, I'm a great Access programmer and I was planning to go to a conference soon to get even better.
Access conference? What's that?
I read about it on the internet, DevCon or so. It's only online in Teams, so I have to get my own drinks and food, but at least I can put my feet up on the table and pick my nose at home.
When the camera is turned off?
We'll see.
What happens at this event?
The agenda doesn't look bad on the internet. Wait a minute.
interesting.
I'll take a look, and if it's no good, I'll turn it off. It doesn't cost much.
That's the spirit. I do the same with my TV. So, thanks for the interview and bye. Who do we have next? Brad Pitt promoting his new film?
In the last episode of this newscast, British Access MVP Colin Riddington showed his Access version check tool. The problem with Colin is that he is the only person in the world who fabricates more tools than I do videos. That's why he's back again this time, showing 2 new tools that you can immediately download from his website and put to practical use.
Okay, I'm going to show you a couple of short utilities that I've made recently, and this one allows you to get an easy way of looking at different help files, either ones that are visible within the app in the help pane that appears on the right hand side of the screen, or online articles and so on. So when the app opens, then you've got a list of the first letters there, and it defaults to letter A there. If I changed to any of these, obviously you get a list of ones that start with that particular letter. If I want to do so, I can filter that list down for a particular version, or by default it will show you all versions. And if I click on any one of those, data definition query will do, and over here then it will, in the normal way, give you a list of what it thinks are the most important ones related to that, and from there you can then load that particular article. Alternatively, you can get a list of online articles with a particular letter here, and being I've selected that one there, it will then open the web page for the article, and you can also get a list of videos as well. Let's get a different letter here. So if you want to learn how to build tables with the table designer, then this will load the video for that. Now, the online articles and video list were given to me by a member of the Microsoft team, Jeff Conrad, and they were accurate when I created the app back in October 2022. But obviously, as new articles get added, you would need, or I will need, to add additional items as I become aware of them. As well as searching by version and searching by type, you can also type in a particular item here. So if I want to find a particular type of chart, I can just type in part of the letters there, and it will do the best fit that it can according to those there. So all it's doing is make it easier for you to find out what help is available in different formats.
Are you willing to update it from time to time, or what's the plan?
Yes, I'm willing to update it. I'm really hoping that Jeff Conrad will provide me with occasional updates, because otherwise it's pure hit and miss whether I find which articles are new and so on.
People can even add items themselves, because there's a line down there, add topic to list.
Right, so if we do that then, right, come up with a title for me, VBA Project Signing. If I do that, it's now added that to the list. And we've got the list of topics. The second application then, this is one I've only just released, and it's available in 2 different versions. The one I'm going to show you is the Pro version, where it's an ACCDB file and you get the source code. And I'm still adding features to that. There is also a free ACCDE version with less functionality, and I will tell you the difference between them as I get to them then. Now, you can get a list of tables and their fields in any database, and we might as well start with the database that I'm actually using here. And as it goes through, then it's collecting the table information, and then it collects the field information for each of the tables there. And there's 3 sorts of tables: local, linked, or system. This one hasn't got any linked tables. If I added system tables, I'd get a list of all the MSys items there as well. And as you can see here, then I can look at the table in its standard data sheet view. I can also look at the design. I can also look at the fields in each of these tables here, and if we just zoom that a little bit, You can then get a list of all the field types, the field sizes. If it's a text field, it's the number of characters. If it's another sort of field, it's the number of bytes occupied by that. And I can also print off a list of tables and also print off a list of fields for each one as well, etc. More importantly, though, I haven't yet shown you how you estimate table sizes. Now, I can check the table sizes, 2 seconds that took, and there I've got the number of bytes as a close estimate of how much disk space each table occupies. And the way it's done is it exports each of the tables to a temporary database, and as it does so, it measures the size of that database before and after the table is added.
How close are you? Have you checked it?
It's to be honest, it's impossible to be absolutely certain. You could compact the database and get slightly different results. Let's go to a different database anyway. This one here will do. So an ACCDE file, 52 tables, take a little bit longer. Some of these sequences can be shortened in your video if you wish.
They have to.
And we have a lot of local tables, some linked tables, linked access tables. I've also got another database with Outlook linked tables, HTML linked tables, SharePoint. It will handle any of these there. In order to get
Can we see the sizes? That's the most
Yes, I'm sorry. I
I
forgot to do that. Apologies. Right, so we'll do that one here. Right, so that took about 68 seconds there. I'll keep it just in case we want to look at that for some reason. And you can see then the size of these different tables here. That particular one then is 1.22 gigabytes in size. It's got 45 fields. Goes on to 2 pages. And it's got 2.61 million records.
And the free version also includes this size measuring and the reports?
Yes, right. The free version contains all of this information in the table here, except that you cannot click on the fields then to get the field information. You just get the number of fields. But you can get a list of all the tables linked local, and if you want to include them system, you can get the table size. That's all in the free version, but you won't get the code. The pro version has the field information as well, and I'm adding additional information like information on indexes and relationships and so on. I'm likely to add in the near future as well. Its primary use, I think, is for analysing databases that you're taking over, or ones that you haven't looked at that you may have written yourself many, many years before.
So thank you very much for showing us your tools, Colin, and keep coding here.
Thank you very much, Carl. And it's a pleasure doing things like this. I enjoy looking at the hidden workings of Access, and hopefully this will help other people as well.
Richard Rost has highlighted regularity and schedule reliability as the most important points to success on YouTube. That's not going to happen here, and I have to continue to slave away as a developer. So I can't promise if and when there will be a next edition of this show. Servus from Vienna.
Disgusting.